back to my channel. This week I have something super duper special for you guys. I don't know if you guys are aware, but Halloween is coming up and it's one of my very favorite holidays. If you are like me, lazy, last minute, and procrastinate everything, then you don't have a Halloween costume yet. So every single day this week I am going to be uploading a how-to do-it-yourself, from your own closet, last-minute Halloween costume. The title probably won't be that long because that's extremely unnecessary, but you get what I'm saying. So today I want to show you guys how to do a last-minute Halloween costume for 11 from Stranger Things. Make sure to subscribe so that you can be notified when I upload. I upload every day at 5 this week. With that being said, let's get started.
Okay, so to start off, because 11 is played by a young girl, I first just moisturized my skin really well to make sure that it had a radiant glow. I used a pore minimizing primer by Smashbox and I just applied that in my T-zone. The last primer I used is a maracuja oil and I just put a few drops on my lips to get rid of dry skin and to hydrate them. Now on to foundation. So for foundation, I have been loving this Born This Way foundation by Too Faced, and once I applied it with a brush, I just went in with a damp beauty blender and blended it in really, really well to get a flawless finish. And to set my foundation, I used just a drugstore pressed translucent powder. For eyebrows, I noticed that during the show, 11 did not have her eyebrows filled in. So I just tried to make my brows as straight as possible and I used a clear eyebrow gel to kind of leave them in place and not give them too much of a shape. Next, I used my PB&J palette and I added some fake bags under my eyes because 11 does have some of those. Well, I didn't really have to do much because I already have plenty of those, but after I applied with the eyeshadow, I just rubbed my finger under to make it look a little more natural. For emphasis, I mixed a blush and a contour color, and I used a smudged brush to just apply this onto my lash line to make my eyes appear a little more red. Using the same contour palette, I mixed all three colors, and I used a little paintbrush like this, and I applied some dirt marks to my cheek and to the top of my forehead because there is some times where 11 gets a little dirty, and so the key to this was honestly just having absolutely no pattern at all. Next, I used an eyebrow weld that I have from Confidently Ready, and I applied just some darker spots to give the dirt some more dimension. And after blending it out, this is what it looked like. Now for what 11 is most known for, her bloody nose. I just used a Halloween store fake blood, and I used a Q-tip to apply it into the top of my nose, and I tried to use gravity to weight it down so that it would drip a little bit, and it worked pretty well. I also put just a little bit of blood in the other side and then let it dry, and lastly finished off with some chapstick. Now onto hair. In the show, 11 wears a blonde wig. It is much shorter than my natural hair, but I do have some layers that are the correct length. So the first step I took to achieve this is to separate all my shorter layers from my longer. Then I twisted it and pinned it on top of my head so it would be out of the way. Then I did the exact same thing on the other side, separated my shorter layers from the longer and then pinned it on top of my head. This next part is a little tricky, but first separate your hair into two sections, grab your bobby pins, and then with that two sections, separate it into two more and begin twisting the front piece as tight as you possibly can. By doing this, your hair is naturally going to coil, so you are going to follow that and then simply just press it to your head and bobby pin it in a crisscross formation to make sure it's as flat to your head as possible. Now you'll start to see that after you've pinned it, the tail of the coil is a lot shorter than it was before, and that's what we're trying to achieve. After twisting and pinning the coil of the other side, you will see that it is a lot shorter than it was before. Now I twisted and pinned the coils of the other side, but if you don't do them tight enough, they'll stick out like this. So pin them flat to your head, and when you're done, this is the final result. Next, I took all the clips out to let my short layers down, and I began just tossing my hair around trying to blend the bottom with the top as well as I could. And this is what it looks like. Now with my short new bob, I tried to imitate 11's by adding some really loose curls to my hair. And that is it for hair. I think this is the most effective thing to do if you want to have short hair without having to cut it or buy a wig. Now on to 11's outfit. For shoes, I just wore some white low-top Converse, and 11 wears like these striped socks, and these aren't the exact same, but I really didn't want to have to buy them, so this is what I had. For her pink dress, I just had this in my closet. It is a pink skater dress from Forever 21. And her dress is collared, but I didn't have a dress like that, so I simply just put a white collared shirt underneath and topped it off with a jean jacket.
Alright guys, that is it for this week's video. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to see what costume I will be doing. Also make sure that you follow me on all my other social medias. I have Instagram and Twitter and of course Snapchat. I will link all of those down below. I love you guys and I hope this gave you some inspiration for Halloween. I will see you tomorrow.